by Dr. William Whitlock. Come on, William.
I had just about decided not to do this and spend all my time rebutting all these bad stories about me. But I do want to say something about one person. If you look in your annual, you notice that Dovey Meadows and I were voted most athletic in our senior year, and she has a special place in my heart because I remember her from that time. I was not a very good football player, David, by the way. I did break my leg, so my legacy went on that I was going to be real good, and I wasn't very. Prophecy. I'm a prophet. As I look into my crystal ball, I can see members of the class of 1948 some 20 years from now in their various walks of life. As you can tell, the statute of limitations has run out on this. I'll stop right here if you want me to. I see Sarah Alexander as a lady aviator operating her own private airline. Elton Amos is about to end his professional football career. Charlene Bond is now famous for her many poems. That's one that's pretty good. Bobby Frank Brown is a sports announcer for the Mutual Broadcasting System. I also see Billy Campbell as manager of Spry's Funeral Home in Sheffield. I have no idea where that came from. James Walker Campbell is campaigning for governor, trying to dethrone Big Jim. He could probably have gotten elected, by the way. The kind of guy he was. I can see Louise Chandler, happily married, living in Leeton, and still driving that same green Kaiser. Is it Park? Marie Critton and her husband, Harley Johnson, own and operate a cafe in LaGrange. Hollis Crowden has his own taxi company in Sheffield. Betty Elledge and her brother Harry live in Birmingham. Betty is owner and manager of an exclusive reducing salon, and Harry is playing professional baseball, which he probably could have done also. As I look farther away, I can see C.S. Elkins as a tough guy in the movies replacing William Bendix. Now, doesn't he look like William Bendix? That was a good one there. Joyce Ann Howard is still traveling between Hollywood and Reno. That could have been there, done that. Maylene Flanagan writes for the Saturday Evening Post. As a bachelor, Hill Mahogany is doing his own cooking and dusting in his efficient apartment in Los Angeles. Lena Pearl, that's for you. And on the Pacific, I can see Harold Jordan, a sailor in the U.S. Navy. Molly Sue Harris is playing the piano for the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Troy Cohen is now playing on his own professional basketball team. Joe Harrison is working for a termite exterminator company. I know where that came from. Now with the home return of my crystal ball, I find Mildred Isbell teaching English at CCHS. And Mildred, you could have done that. Catherine Inman, nursing in Carver County Hospital. Cooper King, proprietor of a department store in Leeton, and serving as assistant coach at CCHS, and Jewel Vinson as Leeton Clinic superintendent. Two families come to my attention. Betty Letzinger, married and has 3 children, and Mary Catherine Smith, married and is rearing a family of sailors. Get that one, Mary Catherine? Yeah, I got that one. Preston Deloney is chief of police in Leeton. I see Arlen Horton still making frequent trips to Tuscumby to get his radio repaired. Doris Isbell is still at her father's home awaiting an answer for her application for a place in Hilmer's apartment. I'm sorry about that. Chester Kaiser is a brick mason in the Muscle Shoals area. Marshall Oham is a successful Coffee County farmer. Jerry Sockel is running his own garage in Leeton. Lena Pearl Smith is a ticket agent at the Carver Theater. Mildred Myrick remains at Carver County High School as a private secretary to Mr. Wan. But Carver County could not hold all its talent. Dovey Meadows is singing with the Metropolitan Opera Company, and Hazel Nichols is a soloist for Spike Jones and his City Slickers. I see Betty Ruth Sledge as a laboratory technician in Hillman General Hospital with her eyes on the head doctor. Glenn Davis Sockel is senior research man for General Electric. Charlene Stanley is a dramatic star for the Screen Guild Players. Ozzie Letzinger is still speeding, but now at the Indianapolis Speedway. David Underwood is a missionary in Darkest Africa. That's what he said he was going to do. And oh yes, I, William Whitlock, now playing professional baseball and coaching at Carver County High School. All of these things will come to pass. I have spoken.
Pretty good, pretty good. Thank you, William. The next is going to call on Elton Amos to read the class will that was authored by Billy Campbell. Bill called at the very early on and said that he couldn't be here because he had a granddaughter that was graduating from high school and he felt like he needed to stay there. But he did even call back the other day and see how things were coming, but he couldn't make it here. So Elton?
Class will. We, the class of 1948, are now passing out of this sphere of education with crammed minds and well-trained members. We wish to leave our last will and testament. As individuals, we bequeath the following. Joyce Ann Howard, I leave my famous Spanish notebook to Julia Alexander. I, Jewel Vinson, will my love for black-headed boys to Bernice Morris. I, Preston Deloney, leave my talent for working algebra to George Moreland. I, Walker Campbell, will my position as president of almost every organization in school to Luther Minor. We, Chester Kaiser and Elton Amos, will our ability to get along with Mrs. Humphrey and to Bobby Sharpston and Curtis Gargas. I, Mary Smith, will my ability to go to the dentist to Betty Lee. I, David Underwood, will my unlucky capacity of being picked on by everybody in school to Robert Aycott. I, Betty Elledge, will my love for green sweaters to Carolyn Underwood. I, Gluckle, desire L.C. Jeffries have my second-year algebra book. I, Sarah, play hockey for our school to Ann Thompson. I, Joe Wheeler Harrison, will my height to Johnny Lyons. I, William Whitlock, will my ability to play the three sports to Larry. I would admire a position as secretary to Mr. Warren to Mildred Briley. I, Marie Crittenden, will my title as best sport to Dorothy Jeffries. I, Mildred Isbell, will my secretarial position, desire that Margene Sockwell have my big feet. I, Maylene Flanagan, will my secretarial position to Mary Hallmark. I, Doris Isbell, will my hard heart to Annie Ellen Thomas. I, Ozzie Singer, will my ability to drive to letter 3 years to Billy Terry. Bobby Frank Brown, will my ability to play tennis to Luther Gargas. We, W. Meadows and Louise Chandler, will our position as secretaries to Betty Jean Sharpston and Reva Bradley. I, Marshall Oldham, leave my ability to make A in conduct to Roland Roden. I, Harold Jordan, will my nickname BB Brain to Morris Monahan. I, Catherine Inman, leave my dancing talent to Mildred Horton. I, Hollis Crowden, will my ability as a typewriter mechanic to Cecil Pride Ronk. I, Arlen Horton, will my talent for working plane geometry to Harold Harrison. I, Harry Elledge, will my position as baseball pitcher to Percy King. I, Hazel Nichols, will my ability to be a nurse to Avis and Mavis Murphy. I, Betty Letzinger, will my big mouth to Sigley Crowden. I, Lena Smith, will my ability to get along with Mrs. Muller to Hillary Holt. I, Harley Johnson, will my habit of being tardy to Hubert Landers. I, Hilma Hargett, will my quiet ways to Theo Isbell. I, Cooper King, will my position as class historian to Cynthia Kimbrough. I, C.S. Elkins, will my position as tackle on the football team to Norris Copeland. I, Jerry Sockwell, leave my bashful ways to Roy Pettick. I, Betty Ruth Sledge, will my desire to be a lab technician to Patricia Coleman. I, Troy Cohen, will my ability to play basketball to Frank McDaniel. I, Charlene Bond, leave my natural curly hair to Jean Bankhead Hotchkiss, but desire that hers remain blonde. I, Billy Campbell, will my position as testator to James Riley Wilkes. On this 11th day of May in the year of our Lord, 1948, class of 48 of Carver County High School at Leeton, Alabama, do commit the last will and testament of the class, individually and collectively, and witness we, the members of the faculty of said school.
Thank you very much, Elton. Now we come to some group participation. We will have our school song, which you should have gotten a copy of, and Bobby Brown is going to lead it. If he can find that lost chord, we'll let him start.
You know,
I believe we ought to stand for this one now. This is a tradition.
we've already sung this once out front when we were doing our photography work, and some of you were not singing. And now you have the words, so let's sing all together. Carver High School students are we, seeking knowledge ever to be. Our school to improve we shall try. Dear old Carver High, Carver our dear old Carver High School, Carver the school we love so well. Ever we will submit to your rules, ever to you our praises tell. Sacred the memories we shall cherish, our friends and teachers also true. Our colors black and gold, be the speedboat, Carver High School for you. Thank you. You may be seated.
Did we pass?
Joyce Ann Howard, would you come forward?
I'm coming. No, I'm not ready yet. Wait a minute.
It just so happened that our senior class had only one cheerleader. And our one cheerleader said, I will not do this alone. So I volunteered to spell college. We did this 50 years ago, I know, and I've been attending sports events the last 50 years, and we're still doing it. So, and all in the world we do is spell the word Carver. We'll say, give me a C, and you'll give us a C, going through Carver, and then we'll spell it together, and then we'll say, that's the way to spell it, here's the way to yell it, Carver, all right. Here again is when everyone participates. All right, give us a C.
C.
Give me a O.
O.
Give me a L.
L.
Give me a B.
B.
Give me a E.
E.
Give me a R.
R.
Give me a T.
T.
That's the way to spell it. Here's the way to yell it. Carver, Carver, all right. Thank you.
Our last chance to have a word. Anyone that has had second thoughts or has a little rebuttal they'd like to make before we do have a little business I'd like to take care of, and we'll do that now unless there's something else to be taken care of.
I have a
Okay,
question.
okay.
Who wrote this class song?
I suppose it
Has it been-
predated us, but I don't know.
It must.
It's not of our class. Do you think?
It appears in annuals as far back as I've seen.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have to get to our authority to find an answer on that one, but it was not from our class, but the poem was. That was Charlene's poem.
Yeah.
Before we go into new business, like a couple of little housekeeping things we'd like to have. The booklet that is almost 100% credited to Donna Lee is available for each of you, each class member to have one if you'd like. The total cost on this will be was $4 or thereabout. And so we asked each of you that select one, and I hope everyone will, to leave a donation of $4 to cover the cost that were incurred in getting this done. And that's not doing anything for Donna Lee's time. She typed,
Cooper, it
Yes.
would be good if anyone had a change of address, if they would let you or Mildred one know so we could keep the addresses current.
Okay. The addresses that are in there are the ones that came off of your returned mail, and so look and see if you moved more recently than what you had when, say, 6 weeks ago or so. Then by all means let us know. Otherwise, I hope that we have it correct. And one other, Philip has been taking a video, and I think many of y'all remember that he did this when we met at Four Winds the last 5 years ago, and I know I got a copy. And Betty Lou is signing us up and keeping up for the ones who want a copy of it. And that'll be $10. And so, again, the other fella got his $10 up front. Now, I don't know about this. I think possibly we can trust each other for a commitment on that after the video has been produced. And we'll get them mailed to you. You want to say something, Betty?
Yeah, Chester wants his delivered.
Speaking of somebody that really made an effort to come here, he lives in Illinois, Ohio, and he was scheduled to go to South Dakota, and so this is the direct route from Ohio to South Dakota. So certainly he needs a recognition for the one who made a great effort to be here.
Well, we don't need to choose to go to South Dakota.
Okay, but that's some new geography for most of us anyway. The one other remaining bit of business that I have, the committee had word that the high school had need of, they proposed 2 things when we suggested to them that we might be able to have something that would honor this class and as a memorial for the ones passed away. And the 2 things that they said they would like to have, one, believe it or not, they run out of room for trophies, and so they need a trophy case. And I investigated the cost of a trophy case that would be similar to one that the last one that they had made, and it would be put in the school, probably in the gymnasium, because I understand the hallways are filled up with trophies. If you haven't kept up with Leeton, Cobb County High School, they certainly have won a lot of trophies in recent years, and I think they will continue to do. The estimate on this is between $300 and $400, and I think the first thing we would need to do is, do we want to have something that we would present to the school as a token from this class, and the other was a marquee. Couldn't think of that big word. A marquee is similar to the one that's up here at the elementary school. And it, according to Mr. Landers, who about 4 or 5 years ago, cost between $1,200 and $1,400 to have it in the lettering. So those are the 2, and those aren't the only 2. And I think the other question is, do we wish to present anything as from this class at all? So the floor would be open for a motion. First, I think the first motion would be, do we wish to present something? And if so, between those 2 are some other suggestions that may be presented from the floor. Do I hear a motion to any of those effects?
I want to do something.
Okay, is there a second?
I say.
Been made and seconded that we have that we do present something to the school. Has any discussion? Call for the question. All in favor? Let's do a show of hands so we'll have a good feeling for how we vote. All in favor of having something presented from us, this class, to the school, let it be known by raising the right hand. Okay, looks like we've done. I give those who would favor that we not equal time to vote. Okay, we have a unanimous vote that we will present something. The next question is, do we have a particular item that we would like to recommend that we do? And either the 2 that I had investigated on the basis of the committee's suggestion, or some other suitable gift.
Cooper, that marquee would be real nice, if we could swing it, because at the bottom of the marquee, we could have compliments of the class of 1948 would be there forevermore. Where the trophy case, even though it's a lot cheaper, would be seen by fewer people maybe. But I don't know if we can swing that amount of money, but the marquee would be real nice, I think.
Okay, other comments for either of the, those two, or a third or a fourth, or however many choices you might have? Would someone like to make a motion that we accept one or the other? And I suppose if we accept one, we automatically rejected the other.